Did you know that if you Google April 20th or 420, you'll see it has significance, but for all the wrong reasons. And this year, Christians in Vancouver are celebrating for all the right reasons. Here to tell us more is an organizer for the March for Jesus taking place in Vancouver this April. So let's welcome our guest today, Bishop Jessie Allan. Welcome, Bishop Jessie. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, why don't you tell our audience a little bit about yourself and share some of your vision for Vancouver's March for Jesus?
Okay, well, I'm the National Assistant Bishop for the First Pentecostal Evangelical Church Canada. I've held this position for a year so far. I have a background in activism and outreach in the downtown east side of Vancouver.
And what is some of the vision that you have towards the March for Jesus? Why did you start this? Can you give us a little bit of background on that?
Well, I got inspired by the march in Seattle, Washington. They had a March for Jesus there, and they're marching the streets chanting, Jesus is coming back, Jesus is coming back, he's coming back soon. And that really spoke to my spirit. And I really felt Vancouver needed to have something like this. So I gathered our ministers, we had a prayer meeting about it, and we came up with April 20th. And so we looked at the calendar and we realized that's 420. So then we
Wow.
decided what we're going to do is Vancouver's really affected by the spirit of addiction in the
Mm.
downtown east side. So we really wanted to have a gathering of Christians to stand against the spirit of addiction. So we're going to be the body of light against darkness in our city. So the whole city of Vancouver, 20,000 people are going to be gathering in our streets to march the streets, fighting for their rights to get high and get drunk. So we're going to have 20,000 people all throughout Vancouver wandering the streets, getting drunk, getting high, falling down. They're going to be protected by police and paramedics. They're going to be there, firefighters.
Mm.
And it's just socially acceptable. This is the way it is in our city.
Right.
So we're going to gather Christians together, and we're going to come together as a body of light, and we're going to stand against the darkness of addiction taking place in our city.
I love that. I had no idea really of the significance of that until sort of hearing why and why that date that you guys are coming together. And so I love that we are going to be the light. You will be the light in such a dark place. So why don't you share some of the work that you and First Pentecostal Evangelical Church of God is doing in the Vancouver region?
Right now, we're mainly known for doing our outreach on the streets of Vancouver. I run something called Midnight Ministries, where our ministers meet in Vancouver's downtown east side at the corner of Gore and East Hastings. And we hold church there. So we preach the gospel there. We have a worship leader who plays Christian music there. And we feed people. So we offer lunches, sandwiches. We just did it last Sunday where we gave out hot dogs and 40 bottles of water and chips and whatever else. So our goal is to connect with our people on the street and share the gospel with them and help transform their lives.
Wow, what an incredible impact you're already having in the city of Vancouver. Well, can you provide some insight into the format and structure of the March for Jesus? Like when people attend, what is going to be taking place? What's going to happen during the event?
Well, we're going to meet in front of the Vancouver Art Gallery. So to just be aware, there possibly might be like 20,000 people in the area, that
Wow.
area getting high. We're going to meet, if not in that spot, across the street around the Vancouver Art Gallery. And we're going to take the streets. We're going to march the streets, chanting out slogans like Jesus come back, Jesus is King, Jesus is our Savior. And we're going to march the streets until we hit the downtown east side. We're going to take a break. A pastor's going to do speak about Jesus. We're going to have prayer teams praying for people. Then we're going to march to the downtown east side's Open Air Park, where we're going to have a Christian revival party. And so we're going to have live music. We're going to have different booths up for deliverance, prayer, for haircuts. We're going to hopefully have an employment company come and offer people employment. Now, the big reason we're doing it in the downtown east side is so we can invite the poor to be a part of it. So we're going to feed them. We're going to have a one-stop shop. They can come in, they can get delivered from their demons, they can get prayer, they can get hooked up with a church, they can get some food, and basically come meet a new community that wants to be a part of their lives.
Wow, I love that. A one-stop shop, prayer, practical resources, and tools. What an incredible opportunity. So what are some of the long-term impact or outcomes that you hope the March for Jesus will have on the individuals and the community as a whole?
I'm really hoping it will cause Christians to boldly stand up for their faith.
Mm.
So they come together and they stand for Jesus. Because while trying to organize this, it amazes me. I had one woman call me and say, "Are we allowed to preach the gospel in the streets?" Well, yes, you are, under Section 2 of the Canadian Charter of Rights, the right to freedom of religion. And I just found it very interesting. A lot of Christians are actually scared when it comes down to it. They don't know that this is new to them. So
Mhm.
to gather them together and show them you're allowed to stand for your beliefs, you're allowed to march the streets, you're allowed to preach, your beliefs in the streets. You're allowed to do this. We have a protest happening that day, 420. If they're allowed to do it, we're allowed to do it too.
That's great. And so, for those who might be watching, who want to join you that day, or maybe even get involved, how can they do that, or how can they get in contact with you?
They can go to our Facebook page, which is Vancouver's March for Jesus, and they can get a hold of us through there.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for sharing with us today, Bishop Jessie. We're so grateful that you are taking a stand and that you are gathering Christians together to pray and to impact people in so many ways. So well done. Thank you for that. And thank you for joining us and being here today.
Thank you for having me.